to double check on all of the dates because they like to change without notification. Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today we're going to talk about some books that I am anticipating that are coming out this summer. So the official dates for summer are June 20th through September 22nd, which when you think about September, I normally think that's fall because that's when all the pumpkin spice stuff starts coming out, but technically summer goes until the 22nd of September. So I'm going to pick books that are coming out between those two dates for releases. And these are the ones that I am anticipating, and I'm going to hopefully try to get to them very soon within this year. And I'm very excited about these. First up, coming out June 29th is Survive the Night by Riley Sager. Oh, I can't wait for this one. I have really enjoyed everything that I have read by Riley Sager so far, so his new release is just a no-brainer for me, and I will definitely be picking this one up. This book follows Josh and Charlie. They are both in college, and they are heading home to Ohio, both respectively for their own reasons, and they are both a part of this rideshare board where you can go and see who's going where, can I hitch a ride, all this stuff. So it's basically like a way that people can carpool if they need to. And they're both going to Ohio, so they team up and they are going to drive home together. However, they don't know each other, so they are strangers. And they're both going home for certain reasons, which start to be revealed while they are driving in this car together. And one thing that Charlie is dealing with is that her best friend was just killed and was killed by somebody who has been killing people on campus, and that person has not been caught. So she is dealing with that along with, being terrified for her own life, obviously. And the more she starts to get to know Josh, who is driving her to Ohio, the more she starts questioning things about him, and maybe things will seem a little bit weird about him, and it's going to go from there. So I like to go into any thriller book really not knowing too much about it because I want any twists or turns to be surprises. I don't want to see them coming. I want to just enjoy them for what they are. So I'm not going to look too much more into that, but it's Riley Sager, so I'm sure there's going to be multiple twists and turns, and I'm excited for this one. Okay, the next one on my list is The Therapist by B.A. Paris, and this comes out on July 13th. Now, B.A. Paris and I have an interesting relationship. I absolutely loved Behind Closed Doors. To this day, that's my favorite one of hers. I have read all of hers, but nothing else has compared to that so far. This one might have a little bit of potential, though. This one seems like it's going to be more of a psychological thing, which is what I'm hoping to be. And this one follows a family who moves into this house that's kind of in an exclusive neighborhood. It's very hoity-toity. It's very, and she finds out some things about her neighbors, and her neighbors are starting to tell her some things about the previous owner of this house who was a therapist. And I believe she might have seen patients in her home, and then some things were happening inside the home because of that. And our main character is feeling this connection to her for some reason, even though she's never met her, doesn't know who she is, whatever. But she starts becoming a little bit obsessed with trying to figure out what happened in this house before her family moved in. So it sounds like it's going to definitely be a mind game, and that's what I'm really hoping for. Okay, the next one also comes out July 13th, and this is It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. Now, this is being pitched as a Schitt's Creek inspired romance, and I am here for that. That's all I needed to hear. I was like, yes, I'm in, because I loved that show so much. And this one definitely has the vibes of like Alexis and Mutt, I would say, those two characters. Okay, so this one follows Piper, and she is a socialite. She is kind of a party girl. She has paparazzi following her all around, that type of thing. She goes to a party one night, things get out of hand. She ends up in jail, and her stepfather says, enough is enough. You need to learn some responsibility. So he sends her to Washington State to run her late father's dive bar. So very different from the life that she's living in Beverly Hills. Okay. So while she's there, she ends up meeting Brendan, who is a local there, and he's a fisherman, I believe. And they're very, very opposite. It's probably going to be a very snarky romantic comedy, and I'm here for it. I'm very excited for this one. Okay, the next one that I am incredibly excited about is False Witness by Karen Slaughter. This comes out July 20th, and this is a standalone thriller from her. So excited. So this follows our main character, Lee, who is a defense attorney. She is raising her 16-year-old daughter after separating from her husband. And she gets a phone call from work one night that there is a very high profile case that is come up and they need her help on it. She doesn't really have a choice but to help on this case. And it is a wealthy man who has been accused of rape. And when she goes to meet this man, the client, realizes that she knows him and he knows her. And there were some things that happened in the past that he knows about that she wants to keep quiet. So it's Karen. I hope it's brutal and I can't wait. The next one also comes out on July 20th, and this one is For Your Own Good by Samantha Downing. Samantha Downing is an author I want to get more into. I have read one of her books before and I absolutely loved it. And I have a second one on deck that I really want to read. And so this is her new one coming out and I'm definitely interested in it. This is an academia book and it sounds like it's going to be dark as well. It's following our main character, Teddy, who is a professor at this very prestigious school for the bright and talented kids. And there are some murders that are happening on this campus, and he is trying to kind of ignore those and focus on his students. And all the while, there is also another student who is very too much interested in Teddy and his personal life and his past and things that have happened to him. So he's trying to avoid that as well. He's really just trying to focus on his students and get them to where they need to be. That's kind of his life's passion. And it says in the synopsis that he will do anything to make that happen. So let's see what anything is. Yeah. Next one that I am very excited about is Dark Rose by Chevy Stevens. This comes out on August 3rd. This follows a highway called the Cold Creek Highway that spans a very long section. And there are a lot of people who, live in various small little towns along this highway and stuff. And there has been a history of women disappearing from this highway. There's been a history of local people who live in some of the small little towns that have gone missing as well. However, no one has ever been accused or picked up for these. So, women are disappearing. No one knows why. No one knows who did it. So we follow a young girl named Haley, and she is left in the care of her aunt and her aunt's husband, who is not a very good person. And so she ends up, as a teenager, going on the run and wanting to get away from this very toxic household. And she lives in one of the areas of Cold Creek Highway. So she goes and leaves and disappears. No one hears from her again. It's kind of assumed that something really bad happened to her because of that. And it jumps to a year later where we meet a woman who is coming into Cold Creek because her sister disappeared from there as well. And so she is trying to be there, figure out what happened to her sister if she can, hears about what happens to Haley and starts getting a little bit obsessed with that as well and just trying to figure out all this stuff. So it is probably going to be very dark. It is probably going to be very twisty, and I'm here for it. Okay, the next one I'm excited about comes out on September 7th, and this is Friends Like These by Kimberly McCreight. And Kimberly McCreight is definitely an author that I want to read more from. I would like to read more from her. And this one follows a group of 5 friends who were friends in college, and they are being reunited 10 years after graduation because of something that happened in their past. And I think it's going to be what kind of lengths will you go to keep it in the past? I'm pretty sure there's a murder involved, all those fun things. So I'm here for it. And the next one comes out September 14th, and this is my most anticipated book of the year. I've been waiting 2 years for this book, and that is Empire the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. A vampire book by Jay Kristoff. Okay. I've been waiting 2 years for this book because it kept getting pushed off, which I was okay with because he had a lot of other projects happening at the same time and he wanted it to be good. He didn't want to just, push something out without being happy with it. And that's eventually what happened. So I'm okay waiting because I do believe that he's going to do a vampire book really, really well. So this one is following a world where the vampires have literally taken over society. So they are ruling, they have pretty much wiped out the human race, and they are the ones in charge. There were a lot of battles that happened because of that. They had to defeat a lot of people because of that, but now they are in power. They are also very evil beings. These are not good vampires that you know, are going to swoon over. These are evil, evil beings. Now, there was a group of people who were really fighting against them called the Silver Saints, and they were kind of put in charge of protecting, you know, people and the church and everything from these vampires. However, there's only one left now. And his name is Gabriel, and he has now been taken prisoner by the vampires. And I believe that this is a reflection of how they got to that point. So I'm so excited. I have a feeling it's going to be very brutal. It's going to be very bloody, and I can't wait. And the last one that comes out September 21st is Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. This one follows a man named Wallace, and Wallace realizes that when the Grim Reaper comes to collect him from his own funeral, he starts thinking, am I dead? I think I'm dead. And then the Grim Reaper takes him to a tea shop owner who is in charge of helping people cross over after they have died. And then he says, okay, I am dead. All right. He is given a week window to where he has to make his transition to being alive to dead. And he is going to take that week and take advantage of it and do some things that he regretted never doing in his lifetime. I cannot wait to read this. I absolutely loved House in the Cerulean Sea. That has been one of my favorite books of all time. And when I found out he was writing another one that's going to come out in September, I immediately put it on my list to check out. I am so excited for this one. I'm definitely going to be pre-ordering it and probably reading it right away. And I'm very excited for this tale. Okay, guys, those are all of the books that are coming out in the summer date time frame that I am personally very excited about. In no way did I cover everything coming out, obviously. There's so many, and it's going to be an exciting one. I do have a lot of thrillers on this one, so that's interesting too. A lot of summer thrillers coming out. But let me know if you're excited about any of these. Let me know what you're excited about that's coming out this summer. Please let me know what some of your anticipated releases are, because I know I didn't cover everything. These are just the ones that really caught my eye. And in doing my own research, these are the ones that I am super excited to pick up. So let me know your answers down below as well. And I will see you guys again very soon. Hope you have a great day. Bye.